Today, I want to talk about depression. I was depressed many years ago, and to really understand depression, I believe you need to have been depressed yourself. Being a depressed person is like being in a bubble by yourself because in depression or the bubble, you believe nobody understands what you're going through on the inside. As a person, you cannot connect with others in a meaningful manner, and you wake up with the belief that there's not a single good reason to get out of bed on a daily basis. I suffered from low self worth and felt very unattractive in a physical and an emotional way. My view was of a negative world, and the belief that I couldn't do most things was very strong and real to me. I was not happy about my job or my relationships and felt there was no hope for myself. I thought if I couldn't love myself and others couldn't love me in the way I wanted to be, then there was no point to my life. The belief I held equaled a lot of pain for me, and I felt that the future only had much more pain if I continued forward in life. In depression, your mind does not have the ability to focus on positive things. The mind focuses on the pain that you have experienced. When in this state of depression, the only thing that the mind can do is numb itself. This is its automatic defense mechanism. Normally, when we are not depressed, the brain will try to avoid sadness by feeling pleasure. But in depression, there's a chemical interference that does not release the dopamine necessary for the pleasure. Instead, it must seek to distract the negative thinking pattern. But eventually, depression, due to its ability to focus on the negative constantly, overpowers the person to bring the pain back into the conscious mind. After the battle internally, there's only one more method the brain can do to try to keep the person safe. This is to enforce sleep. Depressed people sleep almost double the amount of time that a happy individual does. A person without enjoyment or excitement to look forward to will only seek to fulfill necessary needs programmed into the subconscious and not go after ambitions or goals. This is what I call the sleep state. This is a depressed state of mind in which only autopilot features kick in to help the person not create more pain. At the same time, this does not allow the individual to rid himself or herself of the pain. To resolve the current pain, the person would need to feel even more pain than they currently have because the healing process cannot begin until the numbing process stops. Ironically, while the mind is numbing in an attempt to keep itself from pain, this is only temporary. When the mind stops trying to protect itself, it can begin to learn how to get out of the depression. The mind is even more skilled at the numbing process of avoiding healing when the depressed person is on drugs or alcohol. Therefore, the medications for depression may actually be keeping a person depressed longer without the conscious mind paying notice to its true inner sadness. It is as if the subconscious mind is a vacuum that sucks up the depression and sadness only to hold it in to later be released. The question is, how much later will it release the sadness? And how quickly will the pain react when being bottled up for so long? The person must actually battle this process within when the pain is released. The only way to do this is to turn off the numbing process. The desire to have pain with the understanding that it leads to happiness is what the person will need to consciously be aware of. The person must stay out of the dark place and overcome to go away from the depression. However, the opportunities do not come often. So when they come, you must take advantage of this road. The person may not take the opportunity because of this exhausting battle from indecisiveness of what is safe. The subconsciousness is telling the person they should turn around because this is too much pain in that direction. If the person ignores the advice by tapping into the conscious mind, then they will already notice that they are in surrounding of pain with endless despair and no happiness. And therefore, it is best to move forward. If they go forward, they can get out of depression entirely by accepting the pain. and accepting that the pain is there and using its existence as a motive to find the reasons they can be on their way to happy life again. By accepting the pain, they will remove self doubt about the future and look forward towards hope. My advice is to recognize pain, understand why it's there, and find out what will eliminate this pain and take its place in the form of pleasure. If you are depressed, seek help and guidance. Don't be afraid to express your feelings because there is hope and there's a lot to be happy about in this world. Spend some more time thinking about the positives and work towards your goals. And if you do that, you will create more happiness in your life. If you focus solely on the negative will overpower your mind. The more you focus on the negative, the bigger it becomes. You must focus on the positive. Focusing more on the positive will create more positive things in your life.